Uh, and another thing is to climb the corporate ladder as high as I can, and or have like a very great high impact startup. So that's it about me.
Thank you. Yes. Ahmad, please.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum.
I hope everyone is fine. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. My name is Ahmad Sabi. I have been in IT field for the last 10 years. I completed my master's from Paris back in 2009. I have been in the field of data centers and information security for a good while now. During this tenure, I also did my research in wireless data center networks. Could not complete it. That was the PhD part. Currently, if you ask me about my career goals, that would be basically to be again, as Husna says, C-level executives. I would be targeting that in my professional career. But most of all, what I would like to achieve is that as security has become a very, very vast domain, I would like to, even a very small part of it, I would like to be very good in that. Like if people are in that particular field in this country who are the best, I would like to be in the first five of them.
Great. Thank you very much
Thank you so
for,
much.
yeah, thanks. So Shiraz, please introduce yourself, please.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Shiraz Amin. I recently completed my DVM degree from University of Veterinary Animal Sciences. Now I try to get admissions in MPhil pathology, and I want to be a poultry pathologist.
All right, great. Um, do you aim at C-suite, Shiraz?
Mm, yes, sir.
Do you aim at C-suite, the chief executive, chief technical officer level positions?
Recently I do nothing, and I try to get admission in MPhil only.
Okay. So Victor, my friend joining in from Nigeria. Thanks for joining in, Victor. Good to see you at this fellowship. Victor is one of my fellow uh, partners in crime, as I call it. He manages. We managed together Nigeria's first LinkedIn Academy, and Victor is a finance person and a social media person, and he will be mentoring as we go along. And once we have established those cohorts, Victor will be mentoring a couple of cohorts also. So it's a good opportunity for you to listen, Victor, and see where we go from here. So at the moment we have people who speak good English, but if you are interested in sharing your thoughts in Urdu or Hindi, please go ahead, because Hindi I'm saying because there are going to be people as we go along from India and the whole of region. Last time we had two participants from Malaysia also. We are experimenting with timing because I'm based in Canada, Shahjahan is based in Portugal, Victor is based in Nigeria, and the community that we have, 278 people, are based in so many countries. So we are trying to find the best time where most of the people could join in these sessions. So initially, first few sessions are going to be experimental, as we call it. So if you want to talk to me, Shiraz, और आप शेयर करना चाहते हैं उर्दू में, तो प्लीज आप कर लीजिए if you're comfortable with that. So thanks, Shiraz, for your feedback. Please, very quickly, we already discussed who you are, but very quickly, please share where are you from, and then and then we jump on to our today's discussion.
Hello, everyone. This is East from Islamabad. I'm an ACCA member, and currently I'm looking for job opportunities. Also, as far as the reason for attending this fellowship is that I want to learn more about how to pursue leadership opportunities, and that is all about me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, East. Deceased, you never contacted me for any help. I offered you a help that I would like to connect you with few people in Islamabad. So if you're still interested, you can inbox me, please, on LinkedIn. Okay.
Yes, I will definitely inbox you. Also, I was actually I actually thought that we were going to share our presentations during our session today. That's why I hadn't emailed you or anything. But I will definitely email you on that. Also, update you on that.
Yeah, I mean, see,
Inshallah.
this is a small group, but once we have 50 people in the group, we can't really see all presentations. So it
Yes,
just should
exactly.
be just one liner. Like Mohit has literally sent me one liner. We
Oh,
don't want
okay.
to complicate anything. You know, it has to be. You can only implement things if your thought process is simple. If it is too
Exactly.
complex, then the implementation will become a pain. A lot of us will be working. You will either be studying or on jobs, and finding time to create something too complex will just be, I would say, self-destructive. So just
You're
keep
right.
it simple. Simple is the best way to go. Just one liner, just to kind of help me understand whether you're progressing or not, and then we can share it. If it's with just one liner, I can share 50 lines very easily. If it is a presentation of 10 slides, 50 people, I won't be able to read even, right? So
You're
just do
right.
that.
Absolutely.
Mohit, please
Thank you.
quickly, you're welcome. Please quickly introduce yourself and just one liner that you send me, what you want to offer as a giver. Just one liner.
Right. My name is Abdul Mohid. I'm working in Foundation University, Islamabad, and enabling students and faculty in the innovation ecosystem of the Twin Cities, the capital city of Pakistan. The one thing which I mentioned in the email to Hamad that I can give is that I can train, I can coach people how to win customers and how to give excellent customer services.
Awesome. So this is all we need. This is the starting point. This is all we discussed in the last session, is that the givers are the real gainers, because when you start giving, people will look at you, because bigger pool in this world are people who are seeking information, seeking knowledge, seeking help. You can still be seeking help, but think what you can give. When you give, you will get help. As simple as that. And this is one thing that Boyd has identified, that what he can do, he can coach people how to win customers, which is great. So Mubin, what we are doing, we're just quickly introducing ourselves. Can you please introduce yourself, where are you joining from and what you do? Mubin, are you there?
Yes, I am
Yes,
here.
please.
This is Muhammad Ubin, and basically I am from Multan and student in Nanjing Agriculture University, China.
Okay, great. And what are you studying, Mubin?
I am student of agriculture, and my major study is horticulture.
Horticulture. Okay, you will be growing
Yes.
flowers. Great. Komal, can you please unmute yourself and quickly introduce where are you joining in from, what you do, what your career ambitions are? Komal. So the idea is to keep this conversation participatory. If we don't participate, we are not part of a conversation.
Hello,
Komal,
Assam.
walaikum salam. Please.
Yes, sorry, I had just some technical issues. Can you
Okay,
please repeat your question and I can answer it?
right. Introduce yourself. Where are you joining in from? What you do and what your career ambitions are.
I'm from Pakistan, from Karachi, and I am working. So I graduated in 2017, and since then I'm working in public development sector, particularly focused on health. And I've been working for 4 years, and now I am exploring pathways to progress in it.
Okay, good. Thank you. Muhammad Ahmad, can you please quickly introduce yourself and and share where you're joining in from and what you do, what your career ambitions are. Muhammad Ahmed Khan. All right, that's just fine. I think ideally anybody who is not joining in, they can find the video later on. But uh, the real conversations happen in this room where we are talking to each other. So what we did last, so I think a quick recap is really important to have, and this recap is going to be just two-liners. So what we learned last time around is the importance of growth mindset. If we have growth mindset, then we will see things from a very different perspective. You may be part of Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups where people are sharing usually information that is not growth oriented. They're just pushing out information. Or I've heard a word long time ago uh, from an intellect. He said people spit information. So as a group, as fellows, what we are looking at is changing our thinking process and getting into a growth mindset. Now, what a growth mindset does, we try to find opportunities in conversation, in what we read and what we do throughout the day, in a week, in a month, or a year. We always look towards growth and how we can grow ourselves and how can we help others grow with us. So that's growth mindset. The other thing that we discussed is uh, if we have a predefined goal, it will help us in planning, strategizing, and implementing those strategies to achieve that goal. And for this fellowship program, a predefined goal is to achieve C suite, so become a chief executive officer ultimately. Now, there may be some people who are either at university at the moment or have just done their universities. For them, it looks like a tall thinking process. It may not happen so quickly. But if we are not thinking ahead, we will never be ahead in the game. So that's the objective. When people run in Olympics, they start their exercise and their processes several years before. So every few years we have an Olympics, so they start 3 years, 4 years, maybe when 5, 10 years, and they practice and practice to achieve a position in Olympics. So this is what we do when we join in a university or when we are at our schools. At that point in time, our thought processes are not that clear. I've been through it, and I know a lot of us in the group, young people, they also are in the same process. So very few have a very clear vision as to where they want to kind of go to, or what is the point they want to achieve. AssemblyF, Shaja and myself, we thought about this fellowship, and the only thing we could come up with is aiming at C-suite. Unless we don't aim at C-suite, we will not be able to achieve the milestones that will come in between from your university to C-suite. It may happen in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, we don't know, but we have to aim at C-suite. That's the very basic concept of this whole fellowship program. So today's question is, what is dream job? What is a dream job or a dream career? So what I will do, since we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people, including Victor in this group, I will divide you into two small groups, and I would want you to discuss what is a dream job or a dream career for you. Now, these breakout sessions will have two objectives. Objective number one is that you will be picking other people's brains. So you will be helping others to think through. Objective number two is that you will network amongst each other. So the group will know each other well. And maybe this networking will take you to the next level. So I'm going to break you and I will be coming to those rooms. We will discuss it only for about 5 minutes. We'll come back and then you can share. One person can take notes very quickly, and it will be a very basic response as to what a dream job for me or a dream career. So I'm just breaking you into two rooms and see you in the rooms. If you haven't joined the room yet, please join the room.
Actually, I don't see the notification. I'm sorry.
I will move you. Okay. I'm
Okay,
moving
thank
you
you.
into the room.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so they are in a breakout room, and what they're discussing is what is a dream job or a dream career to them. And the purpose of this discussion is to align your thought process as if you are thinking of reaching to a position, what are some of the things that you would do in on their way, on your way. So what would be the milestone? That is going to be the next question, which I haven't asked them yet. So let them come up with some thought processes, and we'll see what they discuss. And of course, the idea of this whole fellowship is to build everybody, whoever is joining in, a thinking process so that you could strategize where you want to reach to. So I'm going to join the rooms and see what they're discussing.
Client. So that's primarily brief of my job description or the work I've been doing in the sector. Hussein, you can please proceed.
So
Mhm.
I just finished with my last undergraduate exams, not yet graduated from NED, computer systems engineering, and I work as a project coordinator for the AI and data work at this at a startup in the Bay Area. And so, what I do is essentially we have this data pipeline, right? We have data coming in from the hospital, and then that data has to be processed. That data has to be plugged into AI model, right? So that whole pipeline is quite long. So I used to first work on it, but now I just supervise that process. And it's a startup, so I just like wear many hats, jump around the startup. Sometimes I work on presentations, getting people on board. Sometimes it's writing MOUs, NDAs, and then I also work on improving the AI models as well.
Hussein, which company
So
you're working for?
instead of
I think
Me?
there must be some technical error on my side.
To the green box and
I just wanted to know, Hussein, where are you working currently?
hello.
Yeah, Hussein, Abdul is asking, he's asking, where are you working right now?
Detector with. That's
Okay,
yes, detector
okay,
with.
listen, you have to discuss. Okay, you're introducing yourself. This is fine. This is what I wanted. But quickly, you have to discuss what is dream job or dream career for you. So, Mohit, if you have not introduced yourself quickly, do that and let's discuss what is dream job for you. So, Hussein,
Yeah,
you are in
we have
AI.
already.
What would be your dream job? What would be your dream career? Komal and Mohit, if you kindly discuss that, because we already almost 5 minutes. I can give you another couple of minutes. And this is one of the learnings that I'm going to share with you when we go back to the main room. Okay, please go ahead, take another couple of minutes, and one person can take notes. Just one line. And what is your dream job or dream career?
Okay.
Okay. Again, should I volunteer? Because I quickly have an answer.
Sure, go ahead.
Things I've not experienced before.
Okay. Mobeen.
So,
So
how
that has been my
is going on?
childhood dream.
Have we decided? Have we shared what a dream job or a dream career is for us?
We are still in the process. We just got 3 people right now.
Okay.
Mobeen, and we are waiting for Shiraz to tell us.
Okay. So just keep this focus and please get to know each other, because ultimately our network is our network. So, beyond this room, you should also connect with each other. So go ahead. I'll give you another 5 minutes to discuss it. If you have done it, whenever you have done it in the next 5 minutes, come back and rejoin the main room. So if you leave the room, then you will be in the main room again.
Okay, sure.
Done.
Thank you.
All right, great. So I'll be closing this room in about a minute, and this is what it is. You see, when people start talking to each other, they cultivate the thought process and then they cultivate the network. And this is what they're experiencing. I gave them 5 minutes and they are 10 minutes into the discussion. Something we really need to learn and appreciate, that working together and discussing really is useful. All right, so we all are back. I think, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we all are back. So who wants to go first? Which group wants to go first and share what you discussed?
Me.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay. Since I was taking the notes as well, so
Sure.
we had two objectives going into a separate room set by the trainer at that. What the main question was the dream job of three of us, and there were two objectives: picking on other brain and network among each other. I think I have quickly done that. I picked up the brains of my colleagues Hussein and Komal, and I quickly networked with both of them. And I found that Komal is working in the public health sector, and I was conceiving a research project which relates to the public health. So we are definitely going forward together on a different call, and we will discuss the prospects, and definitely on board with me.
Awesome.
So that's the beauty of the networking. I think we have achieved both the objectives and yes, the dream job. Hammad, do you want me to tell you the dream jobs of three
Yes,
of
please.
us?
Just dream quickly. Yeah, very quickly.
My dream job is to work in a place where the learning process is mutually respected. Komal wants to work on promoting entrepreneurship in health sector, and Hussein wants to work at a FANG company. FANG is Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google.
Okay. Or maybe
Right?
create your own tank company, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So
So this is what we call aiming big. And these companies were not Facebook, Amazon, or Google when they started. Remember that. So you can always start your own company if you want to, if you're technically competent, if you want people to work with you, and if they appreciate, you will grow yourself. Okay. Yeah. So great, Mohit. So just before I go to the next group, I do these webinars. This is a small one, but I do like bigger webinars, also 50, 60 people in those webinars. And whenever I break them into groups and I give them a task, and the biggest objective of this task is usually networking. Believe me, at least 2 or 3 people network and they start doing things which they never thought of doing together, right? And this is the beauty of networking. And that's why I always say your network is your net worth. So keep your network valuable, add value to your network, and then you will grow phenomenally. So great, thanks for this. Next group, who wants to share what you discussed? Next group, somebody. Unmute.
Shiraz, do you want to take it?
Hello. Oh,
Whoever, Shiraz or Zeest.
Actually, I took a lot of time discussing with all
Yes,
of
yes.
them. So let Shiraz take the lead on this.
Okay,
Shiraz?
go ahead, please.
Sir, can I speak in Urdu?
Sure. Go ahead. Victor,
Sir,
sorry
ये
about
most
that, and let them speak in Urdu, and I can then explain it in English too. Please, Shiraz, please go ahead. बताइए.
सर इन सब की जो ड्रीम जॉब थी वो मोस्टली नंबर 1 पे ये ना दूसरों के ना हेल्प करना चाहते थे
सही है.
और इन थ्रू बहुत सारे एक मुबीन ने बताया कि ना वो जॉब करना चाहता है इसके थ्रू वो अपने दूसरे फ्रेंड्स की भी हेल्प करेगा ताकि वो जो जॉबलेस हैं उनको भी जॉब वगैरह मिल जाए और वो अपने नॉलेज दूसरों तक पहुंचाना चाहते हैं और जबकि जीस्ट शमीम ने बताया कि उसकी जो ड्रीम जॉब्स हैं वो हैपनिक कुकिंग वो दरअसल कुकिंग करना चाहती हैं
Okay, great.
और
मेरी बहन का कुकिंग चैनल है बाय द वे YouTube के ऊपर. I can help you with that too.
ओके सर तो इस तरह दूसरों ने भी बताया कि एक ने बताया कि नेटवर्क आईटी में काम किया हुआ है उन्होंने और नेटवर्किंग का काम करना चाहते हैं और इसके थ्रू वो दूसरों की हेल्प करना चाहते हैं और जो दरअसल मेरी जो ड्रीम जॉब थी वो ये थी कि मैं एज अ डॉक्टर हूँ डीवीएम तो मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि ना फार्म लेवल पे मैं कंसल्टेंसी दूँ ताकि पाकिस्तान में जो प्रोटीन का लेवल है ना वो इन्हांस हो क्वालिटी वाइज भी और क्वांटिटी वाइज भी इसमें ये बहुत बड़ी इंडस्ट्री है अगर सही मायने में अगर हुकूमत इस पे काम करना चाहे
Okay, good. So thanks for Victor, because Victor doesn't speak Urdu. For you, Victor, they discussed that they all want to help others. Zeet wants to build up something of her own, and she cooks, so something around cooking. Shiraz is a veterinary doctor, so he wants to become a consultant. And Mubin, I think, there was something to do with IT also. Now, what is the missing link? What is the missing link in this whole discussion that we all had? Can anybody share with me one thing that, I mean, you all did something, you all discussed it, but what is the missing link in this whole thing? Not for everybody, but let's discuss it. Yes, Komal, go ahead.
So maybe when we work on these exercises and think about what is the outcome that we are trying to achieve, in this case was the dream job, the other question comes to our mind is what is preventing us from achieving that goal. And so maybe this is something that that was missing, that what is preventing us, what is holding us back, and how much confident are we in achieving that goal, and what needs to happen for us to be confident in achieving that goal. So when we say what needs to happen, you will find out, maybe the missing links or what is, what is not there, what we need, all those aspects. Perhaps what we need to believe, what we need to, what we are not doing that we must be doing. What are the skills and capabilities that we must have, but we don't have right now to achieve that career aspect or that dream career aspect.
Okay. So anybody else wants to share, and then I will put in my thoughts to this. No? Okay. So to me, the biggest missing part, not for everyone, of course, we only gave you 5 minutes and you took 10 minutes. This is okay. Is the clarity of your thoughts. So I was actually waiting, other than Shiraz, because Shiraz was absolutely clear. He wants to start his consultancy. The somewhat clear. Moeed, of course, is doing already in a. He is already on a growth path, so he has a relatively much clearer thought process. I personally feel you need to really improve your thought processes. dream job and dream career is not the next level where what you want to achieve. That's too futuristic. You have to be futuristic. So maybe 10 years from now, because if we don't have 5 to 10 years thinking process, we will never be able to implement strategies to achieve the bigger goal. We will only be struggling from step 1 to step 2 to step 3. But if we have a bigger goal, then maybe we will be able to eliminate some steps in between. So frankly speaking, other than Shiraz, I could not really see a very specific goal. So, okay, we have a larger goal, C-suite, but you all have to develop your own goals, not a short-term goal. Short-term goal will come only when you have a long-term goal. In between, the milestones will be your short-term goals. So that's one thing that I want you to do in this whole week. When we meet next Friday, you may be able to send me emails, or you may be able to share that one-liner with us, all of us, as to what your ultimate goal, like 5-year goal is, where you want to be in 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. But that ultimate goal will define the whole process, will help us define the whole process. So that's task number 1 that I would like to give you. The other, so develop that clarity of thoughts. The other thing that that I wanted to say is that please get out of your specific job descriptions. Your job descriptions are kind of shackles. These job descriptions limit your growth. A job description is only for you to deliver certain things within your job. But what would you do in addition so that you could grow is things which are beyond that job description. So you need to focus on job description, fine, because you have to, there are certain deliverables that you have to do in your job. But for growing to the next level, you need to think what I can do beyond this job description. So that's the next thing that I want to say. I'm sure some of you have read Tony Robbins, or he's one of the most famous, I would say, motivational speaker of this time. One of his quote that I really like, that I want to share with you, and this is one of the takeaways of this session that I want to give you, is that if you want to change the output, you need to change the input and the process. If we don't change the input and the process, which means that we have to change the ingredients also to improve our efficiency, to improve the output or change the output. So he said input and the process, I add components also, or the recipe also. And this is what I want you to do. You are following a path, you're following a process that you think is probably the best process, because maybe either you have not really thought of a dream job in the long run, or the process that you need to adopt to be at that job. But now you have to decide, okay, if you want to grow, if I want to become an entrepreneur, if I want to be the Facebook of the future, or something like Facebook, what are some of the things that I have to do to be able to achieve that? And this is what you need to plan. This is what we call strategizing. The question that I'm getting from Sabi is, can you elaborate more on do more than job technical feed? Would you unmute, please unmute and then ask this question, because I really can't understand what you want to say. So if you have any question, you can either raise hands or unmute. When you unmute, I'll be able to see you have unmuted, and I'll give you the microphone. So yes, Sabi, go ahead.
So as you, before this topic, you were mentioning that to increase yourself, you need to get out of your job description and the shack. Yeah. Can you elaborate on that? What do you mean by that?
All right.
Because nowadays, in this time, you need to be one of the things which right now I am facing. My experience is very diverse in my field. As I got the job, I said, yes, I can do that. So I started doing that. Okay, so it's IT, it's infrastructure, it's network and network security. One of the things which I'm facing right now is that if I want to apply for network security, let's say, or information security job, organizations, when they look at my resume, they would go with, you don't have current experience, because right now I am doing working in IoT field.
Okay.
So I would like if because if you can elaborate on what you mean that
Okay.
those type of.
All right. Okay. So so it's a great question, Sabi. Today we will discuss part of it, and next week we will discuss more on the topic. But what I wanted to say is that if you want to grow and expand your horizon, expand your thinking process, you have to think beyond your job description. So what your job description says is the limited deliverables that your company wants from you. That's what is expected of you. You will go beyond and do something in addition, not necessarily for the company that you're working for, but add a skill, maybe, build a new contact or write a blog or do something. And we will talk about it in the next session in detail. But as Moeed has decided that he wants to coach people on how to win customers, or Zeech wants to start something around cooking, although she's an auditor and compliance person, ACCA. Now, these are some of the things that are beyond their job description. And these new things will excite them more and excite people who are around them. So people will look, remember, there will be people who will spot you. So, getting out of the shackle of your job description is really necessary for you to work on your growth. And the growth will happen as we go along. Another question that I'm getting is from Munib. And the question is, what one should do to maintain or enhance consistency in career growth if one is in an initial stage of his career, especially in corporate environment. Again, the thing is that when we get in, our first desire is to get a job. We get a job, and then either we hate it or we love it, or we are just doing a job, day in, day out. We do the job, we get our salary, and we enjoy the salary. Our growth really depends on our next level initiatives. So for instance, you are spending 1 hour of your time in attending this session. This is what you're contributing in your growth. You're adding more to your growth, or you're fueling your growth, because this whole initiative, this session or next following sessions will change the way you think. Nothing happens automatically. If a train has to go uphill, you have to add another engine so that the other engine add more energy, and that's how trains are pushed in the mountains. So what you're doing, you're adding that fuel, you're adding that energy. Initial stage, again, you have to think long term. If you're just starting, you're getting out of your university, your first job is important because that motivates you. But once you are at your first job, you have to start thinking long term. And C-suite is something that I think you should be looking at. And in between, as I said, Tony Robbins, your output will depend on the input and the process and the ingredients that you want to put in. And we will talk about those ingredients as we go along with Moeed and Shiraz. I'm already very happy that you have very well-defined objectives. For others, we will work together and improve those objectives. So this is one point I want to make. Think about getting out of your shackle, which is your job description. You have to think about it when you're at job, but you have to think what other things that you need to add so that you could grow. And may not necessarily be in the same job. It could be another job that you could move on to. Then, can you define your milestones? If you can't define your milestones, then you won't be able to monitor your progress. Or if you can't define your KPIs, you won't be able to monitor your progress. So that is the next thing that you need to do. And to give you an example, and I really love this example because I experimented with it. There was a time I wanted to lose weight because my weight was just uncontrolled and it was really not helping me. I was unhealthy. I went to a dietitian. I think I shared this story last time also. This dietitian, she gave me a complete plan and everything, but I never implemented it. Nothing happened. 1 year down the line, I was still fat, obese almost. So one of my friend who is a doctor at Shifa in Islamabad, I was in Islamabad and I was, your tummy is coming out and this and that, like the doctors do. I said, I don't know what to do. You have to start from somewhere. And then he gave me some suggestions and said, you come 6 months down the line, come back, but if you are still in the same weight, I will not take you out for coffee. I started working on it and I lost 10 kilograms in a year. And the feeling was fabulous. I can't really explain when I was again coming back to my 36 waist trouser from 42 days. So I actually lost 6 inches from my tummy. And all that happened because I had those milestones in my mind. And I was eating, I was exercising, and I was doing everything to achieve it. This is exactly what we need to implement in our careers. You all are young. And when you're young, there are other things that people get into also, which is okay. You have to entertain yourself, you have to be with your friends. But think about it. If you are doing activities that are not beneficial for you, do you think you should not, kind of divide your time and spend less time on the activities that are not really beneficial for you, and spend more time on activities that would help you grow in your career, become more known out there? So this is where I say your milestones and KPIs really are important. If you haven't done it already, I suggest your next step should be developing your milestones and KPIs. And believe me, if you don't document it, if you don't have it on a Word document, and you don't review it every week, every 15 days, then what is the point? You will never be able to achieve it. So try this strategy, and the experiment will be phenomenal. You will be able to achieve it. Once you have written it, and once you have written it, you are actually tuning your brain to achieve a goal, and you will become self-accountable to reach to that goal. I would like to actually, I want to keep this for the next session, but because we still have 7 minutes, I want to share something with you. So there is this famous book which was written in 30s, Think and Grow Rich. Anybody read that book before or watched the movie? If anybody has, please raise your hands. Okay, that's okay. So I read that book a long time ago. The book was written by Napoleon Hill. You may be able to find a copy of that book online, but it's available everywhere. It's not an expensive book. And Napoleon Hill did research on rich people. That was in 30s. Why rich people become rich? What is the process through which they become rich? And so, and there are 10 points in this book that are really important, that really are the eye opener. Let me put it this way: they're really eye openers. And I will really share 2 points today, which I'm sure will be an eye opener for you, or eye openers for you, 2 pointers. Pointer number 1 is desire. What is your desire? You need to know your desire. And what we did right now is defining our desire. What do we want to be? What is my dream job or my career? Just by saying that I want to help people is not a dream job or not a dream career. You have to be very clear in your mind that I want to become a consultant within the field of veterinary medicine or veterinary, and I want to improve protein, whatever availability in Pakistan. That's a very clear goal. So what your clear goal is will take you to the next level, which is you can then develop your milestones and KPIs. So your desire drives you. What is your desire? So my desire cannot only be I want to be rich. That is probably a fake desire. My desire should be something else, very clear. The other pointer that I want to share with you is faith. Now, what is faith? Faith in yourself. And faith comes with action. If you take those actions, the faith will trigger. You will be more confident. Once you know that you can do that, you will be more confident. Have you seen a kid, a small kid who, like, when they start walking, they fall down. They fall down again and again. But if you observe them, every time they fall down, they get up and they smile. I'm not sure if you have spotted it. I've got 2 girls, so I've raised two daughters. I know, and I've observed that every time they fall down, they get up and they smile because they're learning something new. They're learning to walk, and that is faith. Faith in yourself, faith in people around you, faith in the system, in the nature. So if you can experiment these 2 things, your desire and your faith, you will grow. Nobody can stop you. So I can go very emotional when I start talking about these things, because I've done a bit of research. There's so much sun out there. A bit of research on that, and I've experienced it myself also throughout my life, self-accountability process. And whenever I had the desire and I used that desire and match it with my faith, I did things nobody ever thought of doing. And I can go on and tell the stories. There are tons of stories that I have and I can share. But we are only 3 minutes in the session. I will recap, and the task that we have is we need to redefine our goals. What is our dream job? One dream job or dream career. Be very clear, absolutely clear, and write it down. I suggest if you want to be part, and I want you to stay with the whole 6 months period that we are thinking of, where we are bringing in more mentors also, like Victor and others. Create a Word document and make notes, like simple notes, bullet points, so that you could go back and revise and review. Clear that thought process, clear objective. This is where I want to be. This is my dream job, dream career. What would be the milestone? So how would I achieve my dream job? How will I reach to my dream job? And what will be the key performance indicators? So if I do this, I will move to the next level. If I add good fuel in my car will go much faster. The performance will improve. So if Reach wants to become a cook, or wants to be known as somebody who is a great cook, she needs to start something. So she needs to start a cooking blog, or maybe a YouTube channel, buy some equipment, learn how to do it, and then only she will be able to do it. Mohit will have to start next, for Mohit specifically, because he's already a bit in the next level. He has to start putting his first how to win customer course. Mohit, this is your objective. 10 PowerPoint slides in which you will coach people how to win customers will take you to the next level. And once we have done that, we will be in a position where we can say, okay, now we have a strategy. It may be just a very basic strategy, but we have a roadmap to follow. If you have any questions, please ask.
I have a question.
Yes.
Actually, I already gave a slight input that that you mentioned that we need to come out of this JD mindset, job
Right.
description mindset.
Hmm.
I am unable to understand how I'm going to change not only me but other around me who are stuck so badly in this mindset that I see a major turnaround or some kind of a missile or a earthquake that people will start understanding that they need to do 1 mile extra from their job simply on a growth basis so that that they can come out of their mindset that they
Okay.
work from 9 to 5. That's it.
Okay. Good question. Now, first, change yourself. We cannot change everybody around us. So I'm not sure if some of you are part of this Facebook group called Soul Brothers. Soul Brothers is an interesting group. So I'm not too active on Facebook, but somebody recommended me, and the two young lads who run Soul Brothers. One of them is based in Canada, and he became a good friend. So I joined in the group. There are, I think, about 125,000 men on that group. I think this is in competition with Soul Sisters, but anyway. And I started observing the group, and it's mostly, well, the content of the group is not too exciting for me, frankly speaking. So I started sharing things just to encourage people to think from a different tangent. And people started trolling me. So there is a young lad, I think he's a young lad, he calls me Chacha. And every time I post something, he writes in Roman Urdu, and he trolls. But at the same time, there are so many people who are getting benefit of what I'm sharing out there. Now, as a result of this more logical and more articulated, consistent sharing, Soul Brothers has invited me to speak on 17th of October on a live session. I cannot change everyone, but if I can change one person, this is the group that I want to change, I'll be more than happy. So don't think that everybody will change. Change yourself and then see who has the capacity to change. One more thing which just came in my mind. I'm a certified first aider. So I did the first and second level of first aid course. And in the first session, there was a question from the trainer. And he said, there's a blast or something had happened, and there are 3 people in front of you. These 3 people are injured. 2 people are in severe situation, they're very critical, and the 3rd person is not that critical. Who would you save first? And we all said we will try to save the people who are extremely needy and who are in critical situation. He said, wrong. You will save the person you can save, because people who are already critical, you may not be able to save them. But by the time you reach to the 3rd person may get into critical situation. So you have to save the person who is not in critical situation. We need to find those people who are not in critical situation and work with them, and you will see the change. This is what I've been doing for my 35 years of mentoring and coaching. Any more questions?
Thank you very much.
Any more questions? So if there are no questions, I really want to thank you for joining in. AssemblyF is going to put these videos, because that's why we are recording it, on their YouTube channel. If you know other people who need help and who are interested in growing, please bring them to the platform. We can help them together, and we can help them first change their mindset, and let them enjoy the excitement of becoming a growth mindset practitioner. And this is what we are doing today also. Have a wonderful weekend. And our weekend is going to be wet. It's going to rain next 2 days. But today is warm and today is Friday. So I'm going to go for Friday prayers with my brother in 2 hours time. The temperature is still pretty good. And I know it has rained in Karachi. I believe some people are from Karachi. But yeah, enjoy your time, enjoy your weekend. You can keep sharing at the portal. You go on to AssemblyF portal. I keep posting things. You can engage yourself there. You can post your own stuff, own thought processes, what you learned. One key assignment for all of you, and Mohit and these, thanks for doing it last time around. Write a post, what you learned today. It could just be 2 lines, 3 lines, what you learned today. Post on LinkedIn, tag me, Shahjahan and AssemblyF, and I cannot promise on for Shahjahan because he is doing too many things, but I will definitely go and add my comment and recognize you, which will give you your profile a bit of boost, because I have got 41,000 plus followers on LinkedIn and about 27,000 first degree network. So my network on LinkedIn is pretty phenomenal as compared to a lot of other people. Yes, person, you want to say something? Person, you want to say something?
No, I just rejoined. I got disconnected.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I I think I lost at, like 10 minutes ago.
Oh my God. Well, we will have the video available, so you can watch that 10 minutes. But what I was talking about is, I can't repeat it because I was kind of gone. I had gone too emotional, I think. But were you there when we talked about faith and desire and faith?
Yes.
Okay.
When you were talking about think and
All
grow
right. So the
rich.
next level
Yes.
is that we need to encourage more people to be part of it. You cannot change
Mhm.
everyone. You can only change yourself first, and then see who can be part of this whole community that you want to build around you. That's the message.
Mhm.
The last thing that I said, you all are encouraged to write a post as to what you learned in today's session, 1, 2, 3 lines, whatever you think. You don't have to be over exhaustive. Post it on LinkedIn, tag me, tag AssemblyF and Shahjahan, and I'll be happy to comment on your post once you have put in the post and tagged me. And I'm sure you will get, anybody who does that will get a boost on LinkedIn because of my network, and I have pretty decent network on LinkedIn. So with all that, thank you very much. We are 8 minutes over in the session. Enjoy your weekend and have fun. See you next week.